Welcome to This Explainer. Let's get right into it. If you're running a high-volume business or managing an accounting firm, you already know the absolute headache of manual data entry and tally. It is a massive drain on time. Today, we're exploring a solution called Hunter's Auto Entry Bridge. It's an AI-powered system built with one very specific goal: completely eliminating manual tally data entry. Seriously, if you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by a giant stack of end-of-month purchase and sales bills, stick around. We're going to see exactly how technology can make that entire stack disappear.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the manual entry trap, then look at from photo to tally, uncompromising accounting precision, the scheduled auto agent, proof in live reports, and finally, handling the real world. Let's jump in.
Section 1. The manual entry trap. The reality of the invoice stack. Picture this. It's the end of the month, right? You've got this massive stack of purchase bills on your left, a mountain of sales invoices on your right, and Tally Prime is just sitting there staring at you on the screen. 90 seconds. That is the amount of precious time you're losing every single time you manually type up one of those invoices. And honestly, that's only if you're super fast and absolutely nothing goes wrong. Because you're not just typing, right? You're creating ledgers, stock items, GST ledgers, and then finally the voucher itself. Multiply that by, say, 200 invoices, you've literally just lost an entire week of work to pure mind-numbing data entry.
But what if we could flip the script? The contrast here is honestly staggering. We're talking about going from a grueling 90 seconds of manual typing and master creation for every single invoice to, well, a single batch post-click. Seriously, you just drag your invoices into the dashboard, and a process that used to eat up days of your life is suddenly compressed into one single automated action. It's a total game changer.
Section 2. From photo to tally, bridging the gap.
Now you might be wondering, how does a random piece of paper actually get parsed and sent straight into Tally without anyone touching a keyboard? Well, the high-level architecture here is pretty fascinating. From the very second you capture the invoice, and by the way, you can just snap a quick picture with your phone, the AI goes to work. This large language model reads the image, pulls out the party details, the GSTIN, dates, HSN codes, literally every single line item. It even figures out if it's a purchase or a sales voucher, calculates all the tax splits, and pushes it straight into Tally. It is a complete, unbroken bridge from capture to voucher posting.
Section 3. Uncompromising accounting precision.
But look, extraction is really only half the battle. If an AI just dumps raw text into your software, that's totally useless. The system has to intelligently integrate that data into Tally's incredibly specific structures. And this is where it gets incredibly smart. Before a voucher is even allowed in, the bridge actually asks your Tally what already exists. Then it only creates what is missing, and it does it following a super strict dependency-ordered sequence. It goes go downs, then units, stock items, groups, ledgers, and finally the voucher. It completely respects Tally's logic, because as we know, Tally will flat out refuse a stock item if the unit doesn't exist yet. With this, you literally don't have to create a single master by hand.
And to make absolutely sure nothing corrupts your books, the bridge enforces a hard debit equals credit gate, period. An accounting voucher just cannot be accepted or posted unless those two sides balance perfectly. This isn't just some flimsy warning you can click past, it's enforced in 3 separate places in the code. It is a hard refusal. Bad, unbalanced entries are never, ever reaching your books.
Section 4. The scheduled auto agent, unattended posting.
Automation is fantastic, but what if you don't even want to click that batch post button? Enter the auto agent. This transforms the whole tool into a completely unattended scheduled system. It basically just watches a specific folder, so a client can snap photos of their bills from their shop, drop them into that folder, and the agent completely takes over. It runs in the background on whatever schedule you want, every 15 minutes, hourly, once a day. It can literally post your invoices overnight while you are fast asleep.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Running things unattended requires some serious safety checks, right? Exactly. That's why the auto agent uses what's called a traffic light pre-flight. Basically, it will not switch on unless your subscription plan, your token balance, and your Tally Prime connection are all flashing green. It is an incredibly safe, self-monitoring system, so it is never going to fire blindly into a closed tally and waste your tokens.
Section 5. Proof in live reports.
Let's be real. Any good accountant is going to be naturally skeptical of this kind of magic. You need to verify that it actually worked and without errors. So, let's ask the million-dollar question every accountant asks. Did it actually post to Tally? Not did the software say it posted, but did that entry land safely and correctly inside your actual books?
Well, you can verify that instantly. You get access to 16 live tally reports right in your web browser. So, you post an invoice and boom, instantly pull up the daybook or the trial balance. You'll see the new ledger is there, the GST is sitting exactly where it should be, and everything balances perfectly. And just to be crystal clear, this is not some synced copy of your data floating in the cloud. This is your actual local tally data read live and rendered right in your browser from anywhere in the world.
Section 6. Handling the real world. Messy source documents. Because let's face it, source documents out in the real world are rarely perfect. They're messy, they're faded, they've been folded up in someone's pocket. Most automation completely falls apart when it hits anything other than a pristine PDF. But HuntersBridge was actually built and tested against the real ugly invoices businesses get every single day. It can read faded dot matrix prints, carbon copies covered in rubber stamps, and impressively, totally handwritten chalons. And again, your client doesn't need a fancy flatbed scanner or a tally license. A quick photo from a smartphone camera gets the whole job done.
Section 7. The HuntersBridge Value Proposition.
Let's pull all of this together. The difference between HuntersBridge and your typical automation tools is pretty huge. Other tools usually hit you with strict per-page limits, which is a total nightmare when you get stranded mid-month. HuntersBridge, they offer unlimited entry volume on their enterprise tier, which is tailor-made for CAs and distributors who have massive invoice counts. And while other tools force you to manually map things to create masters, this creates all 6 levels automatically. Plus, as we just saw, it doesn't need clean PDFs, hand-it faded bills, hand-it handwritten notes. It just works.
Finally, we gotta talk about security. Everyone always asks, does my data leave my tally? The answer is a hard no. Your tally stays right there on your local machine. The bridge communicates with it locally over an HTTP interface. Nobody is hosting a copy of your books on some random server. It is your tally, it is your data, completely secure, just without the endless typing.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. Think back to that lost week we talked about at the very beginning. If your firm could magically reclaim those hours lost to manual data entry, all while maintaining 100% accounting precision, what higher-level advisory work would you focus on instead? That is the real power of automation. It's not just about saving keystrokes, it's about elevating the work you actually do. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope it sparks some great ideas for your workflow.